Namaskaram friends. Yesterday I talked about Sri Andal's history. In that, Sri Andal would have conveyed two main things. One is that we can attain Sriman Narayana only through Nama Sankirtanam, which means we have to sing in praise of Lord Narayana. That's what she would have done, and she attained his Trivadi. And the other one is we have to worship Lord Narayana in temple. So she was in Srivilliputturu and then she came to Srirangam and she was in the temple all the time and she attained Mukti because she was in the temple. So these are the two messages should have conveyed in her Pasurams. And also her restlessness and eagerness to attain Lord Kannan, Lord Narayana, she would have tried various methods to attain him. Those things would reflect on the Pasurams. So one who reads the Pasurams understanding the meaning will depict her devotion towards Lord Narayana. So this week I covered yesterday. Today again I have gone to Srirangam temple again. I am in Srirangam temple virtually. I am planning to talk about Acharya Ramanujar. There is a separate shrine for him inside the temple and he was named as Udevar there. Udevar, usually the name is for Perumal, but he was named as Udevar because of such a great service he has rendered to Vaishnavism. He played a significant role in spreading the Vaishnavism throughout the country. Let's see his history today. Sri Acharya Ramanujar was born to Tamil parents, Asuri Saumyaji Kesava and Kantimati Amma in the village called Sriperumbuthur near Kanchipuram in Tamil Nadu. He was born in a Vaishnava family. After his marriage, he moved to Kanchipuram to learn Advaitam from the Guru Yagava Prakasar. Later, they separated due to different ideologies they had. And then Ramanujar started spreading Vaishnavism and he has given a lot of discourses in Kanchipuram. Alavandar Acharya in Srirangam came to know about Ramanujar. He sent his disciple Tirukatchi Nambi to invite Ramanujar to Srirangam. Ramanujar immediately accepted, and by the time they reached Srirangam, Alavandar passed away. So there was a big vacuum in Srirangam for the temple management and for the Vaishnavism itself. There was a big vacuum in the absence of Sri Alavandar. Later, everyone asked Ramanujar to take up that role and he started managing the temple management as efficient as his guru Alavandar. But he had to exile Srirangam for 12 years due to some political issues within the state, and then he went to Melkotai in Mysore. There he built a temple for Vishnu. There he came to know that one of the Vishnu idol was taken away by Delhi Sultanate who was in Delhi. So he went to Delhi to get back the idol. There he came to know the idol was maintained and worshipped by the Sultanate princess. But though she had developed a tremendous bhakti towards the idol, she understood the importance of the idol for Vaishnavism and she handed over the idol to Ramanujar. In gratitude for her, he built a shrine within the temple in Melkotai. And we also have a shrine for her, Sultanate princess, in Srirangam also on the name of B.V. Nachiyar. Even now pujas are done to B.V. Nachiyar. The northern side dishes are provided as Naivedyam and similar way Perumal is also being worshipped. So that's the gratitude shown by Ramanujar for the help or for the gesture showed by princess. So he came back. He was always thinking about Sri Rangam. Though he was in Melkotai, he built a temple in Mysore. He was always thinking about Sri Rangam. He came back to Sri Rangam after 12 years, and then she continued his work called Sri Bhashyam. He completed that work, and again he took care of the temple management. He played a very major role in spreading the Vaishnavism within the state as well as in the country. Acharya Ramanuja's lifetime period is from 1017 year till 1137 century, which means his lifespan is around 120 years. All these years he dedicated his life for Lord Narayana. In Sri Rangam he spent most of the time, and he played a significant role in spreading the Vaishnavism, I said. Let me tell an interesting incident happened in his lifetime. When he was in Kanchipuram, he got the invite from Nambi in Tirukostiyur. He sent Periya Nambi to meet Ramanujar and bring him to Tirukostiyur so that he will announce him the Moola Mantra. Ramanujar came, he met Nambigal in Tirukostiyur, and he learned the Moola Mantra also. He was also advised that he should not convey this Moola Mantra to anyone. If he has conveyed it, he will not get the mukti. So that's the advice he got. But as soon as he came out of Nambi's house or Mandapam, wherever he learned the Moola Mantra, he immediately went to the Tirukostiyur temple tower top, and he called the entire crowd of that village, and he taught that Moola Mantra he learnt, which means that he is not worried about his mukti, he is not worried about his lifetime. His intention is to spread the good things about Lord Narayana to everyone. So this made him very popular. This made him a leader, religious leader to Vaishnavas also. This incident. The other thing is, let me walk over the 7 main principles of Sri Ramanuja. The first one is, Lord Narayana is in everyone's Atma. Everyone is Lord Narayana form. He or she, a cat or a dog, everything is in the form of Lord Narayana. That is his first principle. Second principle is, we can attain Lord Narayana just not by calling him Narayana. We have to say Sriman Narayana, which includes Mahalakshmi also. Third is, Lord Narayana is in every word that we utter. If I say this book, it means Narayana. If I say this garland, it's Narayana. So he is in every word that we utter. And then the karma that we do, it's not that we work for just the money. The karma that we do is also blessed by Narayana, and it is dedicated to Lord Narayana. At this time, in this pandemic disease, I want to thank the doctors, nurses and other workers who cleans the town and everyone, because all those tasks are nothing but it shows the presence of Lord Narayana. And then the fifth one is, surrender to him. Don't worry about the deficiencies that we have. Just surrender to him. This is fifth principle. Sixth one is, he supports the ideology of Tirumalizai Alvar. It is that he says there is no human without Narayana, and similarly there is no Narayana without human. It is mutual relationship, and Ramanuja supports that ideology. The last principle is that anyone can attain mukti to Lord Narayana. Despite of any caste, anyone can attain to Lord Narayana is his seventh main principle. So these are his main principles. So that's what I want to convey about Sri Ramanuja Acharya. He has got a sanctum in the temple. It is also important. The other important thing is his body, though his Atma is attained to Lord Narayana, his body is still maintained in the temple for more than thousands of years. We can also see that inside the Srirangam temple. Let me meet you all tomorrow with some more details of Srirangam. Thank you, friends. Namaskaram.